So the GERD, again, can resolve on its own by 1 year of age. The cause is that lower esophageal sphincter, remember that's sitting right on top of the stomach, is not completely closing. So oftentimes the baby will spit up. My oldest daughter had this, and we always joked about her projectile vomiting. So I often tell this story. The first time I took her on a road trip with my girlfriend and her baby, we went to my girlfriend's parents' house, and I had known this girl through work, and I was not aware that she came from a ridiculous amount of money. So my first clue was when we pulled up to her home, there was an electronic gate that had a camera that welcomed us in, and then we pulled through this winding driveway and up to this ridiculously expensive home. And we entered the home, and her parents were gracious and lovely people, very welcoming. And her dad was a huge outdoorsman like my husband, and he had just gotten back from Tanzania on a hunt, and he had this zebra rug that he had just gotten back from the taxidermist, and it was, laying on the floor in the sitting room. It was just beautiful. And literally, Hattie and I had been in their house for 10 minutes, and she turned her head and projectile vomited all over that zebra rug. And I just wanted to, like, curl into a ball with my kid and hide. But they were very gracious people, and their response was, "Well, it's a good thing that zebras are in the wild and they're exposed to all kinds of, different different fluids and things like that." So we cleaned it up, and I eventually got over my embarrassment. But I tell that story all the time when we're talking about gastroesophageal reflux, because she definitely had it and she could puke with the best of them. Um, but usually resolves on its own by 1 year of age. And I'm sure those of you that have kids or have babies that you all have stories about baby spit up as well. So we can reduce the risk of gastroesophageal reflux or the symptoms of the gastroesophageal reflux by reducing the rate of feeding. So if baby is fed via a bottle, we can get the slower flow nipples. You have not been around babies, you probably didn't know that there are different amounts of flow that we can get with the bottle nipples. So we can get the slower flow, making sure that we're burping the baby in the middle of the feed, and then move less often after the feed. So oftentimes babies are recommended, to be put on their tummies, supervised to develop head strength, and discouraging families to put their baby on their stomach right after a feed can help with this gastroesophageal reflux. So the last slide is thinking about these questions, and this will help you prepare for your case study if you're assigned the infancy case study, and it will also help you prepare for our infancy and childhood test, which will be coming up shortly. So how does inadequate nutrition affect the child's growth? Well, we know that we have a slower growth curve if children are poorly um, fed. What can cause failure to thrive? Well, we have physical problems like some sort of GI disease, an inborn error of metabolism, GERD, intolerance to the formula, food allergy. But remember, poor caregiver baby interaction can also cause failure to thrive. And then think about the nutritional needs, protein, carbohydrates, fats for a 3-month-old, 6 kilogram baby. And you can find that information in your math packet. And then why is solid food introduced? We're introducing that to get a good iron source and to get baby set up for good food habits throughout the rest of their life. And what should be given as a first food? We're looking at baby rice cereal that is iron fortified. Again, those questions will help you prepare for your case study as well as your tests. Let me know what questions you have about feeding babies. I got a little wordy in this one. I apologize for that. I'm glad you hung out and stayed through it with me. Talk soon.